Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
Yo, kind of a sad moment right now. We're trying to get fucking PS5s.
Yeah, if you notice we're a little distracted, it's because the PS5 pre-order just came out like 30 minutes ago, unbeknownst to us while we were setting up. We're trying to secure ourselves copies of the PlayStation 5.
So if at any moment you hear us yell loudly, it's because one of us broke through the checkout line.
There might be like a huge like jump cut, and then they'll just be me smiling and Christian just looking defeated.
Automatically, it's me that's not getting it. So.
That is true. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a gamer, on the cusp of yet another new generation. We'll talk a little bit about some of that coming up here in a bit. Make sure you guys, if you're enjoying these videos, let us know down in the comments of the YouTube. Like and subscribe and click that little bell to make sure that you know whenever we release a new one. Generally, we release on Tuesdays. And, of course, you can find all of our information at Nerds with Friends podcast.
And if you're watching and if you see my eyes dart that way, we're just looking at producer Rick over there. She's trying to pre-order one for one of us. It's already been established that Cody's getting it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think that I've earned it, okay? I think, I deserve something nice, after amidst all the COVID and stuff. I think that we'll get one regardless. We'll get one eventually.
I'm that guy that needs it the day it drops. Yeah. I've yet to not get a system. Damn, I know I just fucking jinxed myself by saying that.
Knock on wood.
I've never not getting it on day of when a new system drops, but I'm hoping that trend continues.
Yeah. Well, I know that this year COVID has caused some manufacturing issues, which have, caused problems with trying to get these systems from Japan over to America but I know that Sony says that they chartered something like 75 Boeing 747s to make sure that they come over, they get all the systems over here.
So they were saying that COVID is fucked up production, right?
Yeah, part of it, yeah.
Isn't it just machines making this shit?
No, it's definitely children who they pay in bowls of rice, true. Probably, little
nimble fingers to put the chips in.
Yeah, they need small fingers to screw in.
They don't get COVID. I call bullshit. They don't get COVID.
Well, they do. They just don't die from it. They just keep them going.
Just keep working, little guy. I mean, you want a job, right?
Yeah.
Keep making the PS5.
You want to eat, don't you? But yeah, let us know also if you guys got one and if you're willing to part with it for list price. Yeah. I don't pay markup.
As a fan of the show, I feel that you should give yours up to us.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we need to continue making content.
How am I going to talk about the new video game if I don't got the fucking system,
Mm-hmm. But we will talk some more about some of the new info released on that in a little bit. But yeah, make sure you guys are check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube's. And again, all that information, nerdsdefensepodcast.com. We do read and respond to all the comments you guys do, so we do appreciate that when you guys.
We haven't got any negative ones, which I'm shocked.
Yeah, no, I
want the negative ones. Too.
Yeah,
feel free.
I'm okay with negative ones. I did have one comment one time where the guy's like, "Y'all look familiar," and I'm like, is it? Have you seen our show before, or we post on Instagram, or maybe you've been to a convention and seen us at a convention? He's like, "Nah, that ain't it." And that was the end of the conversation.
This was on YouTube? Or?
I think it was on Instagram. I forget who it was.
That's pretty funny.
But I was like, okay, well,
thanks for the info, guy.
Thanks for listening. I can't say that you look familiar, but I hope you enjoy the show.
Send us a picture.
Send us a picture.
Maybe you look familiar.
That was one thing. It was hard. I think his Instagram was mostly memes and stuff, so I didn't really have a good picture of him. But
maybe he was trying to set up a punchline for a joke, and then
y'all look familiar. Really?
Dick.
From what? Look at my dick.
Yeah.
That's
gotcha. I don't know.
Good one. You got us. Well, look at my penis. That's how Harvey Weinstein did it. You look familiar.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of that in jail now. He's gonna get the flip side of that.
What films have you been in? You look really familiar. Look at my penis. Oh fuck, you got me again, Harvey.
How convenient that he got fucking real sick right before he goes to jail.
Well, hopefully he just dies in jail.
Like, he was going around.
That's what I really want.
Molesting people, and like he had all this energy. He'd go to jail. Oh, I need a fucking.
Oh, I'm so old and decrepit.
Don't send me to jail.
It's because he was sucking the life force from those young actors.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
that's where the
he's
life
like
energy is.
He's like a vampire kind of. Anyway, let's start off like we always do with some nerdy confessions, where we confess the things that make us nerds. You want to go first, or would you like me to go first, Christian?
I can go first.
Right.
I was talking to Cody about this a little bit off air.
I'm going to continue trying to buy the PS5 while you do this.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I would expect nothing less. It's just like, what? You're not paying attention to me? Big surprise. No. So I was watching this documentary on Netflix. It's called Unnatural Selection. And, I mean, this was fucking news to me. I didn't know that there are biohackers out there.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this guy...
It sounds like something straight out of Cyberpunk 2077.
That's exactly like...
On PlayStation 5.
Yeah, which we're not going to fucking get to play.
I'm going to buy an Xbox if I can't get a PS5.
Then it's going to... Bing! It's going to let you buy it right now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we heard you.
So this guy named Josiah Zahner, he sells... CRISPR kits. So CRISPR is like genetic editing kits.
I feel like if there was ever a guy who was going to be a biohacker who is selling kits to do gene splices, his name would be Josiah Zander.
And it's exactly what, well, maybe we'll put a picture of it. I can show you right now. It's exactly what you think he would look like. It's exactly what you think he would look like.
Yeah, you put that guy in a fucking lab coat.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking.
So he sells kits to non-scientist people to purposely manipulate and try to edit genes at home. So there is one guy...
When I edit genes at home.
Yeah. I mean...
You know?
Where else would you do it?
Yeah, you got to. You don't want to do it
so he
at
has
some lab.
One guy who's trying to... He's a dog breeder, and he's trying to make a glow-in-the-dark bioluminescent dog.
Nice.
There are, and I will say there actually are glow-in-the-dark rabbits. And I think rabbits. I know rats... Someone has made them. Like, they've taken
They just shoot a bunch of radiation into them.
No, they take
and then they hop around, and for the 30 seconds that they're alive, they are glowing.
Yeah, they glow. No, these are fully grown creatures. You could YouTube this shit. I mean, you can find it. It's out there. And so when I started off watching, I'm like, man, this is wrong. This is terrible. And then the documentary itself, I don't think it's designed as to try to get you to understand. But then they start talking about how these companies, these medicine companies, will make medicine, and the prices are fucking outrageous. There was, and I'm going to get the disease wrong, but it was something muscle atrophy, where you slowly are losing the ability to move. And
like MS or something, kind
I
of?
think so. And forgive me if I get the disease wrong.
Or Lou Gehrig's disease.
It wasn't that. It definitely wasn't that. But anyway... So this company has made
what was that called?
A vaccine.
They had the ice bucket challenge.
That's
the Lou Gehrig's disease, right?
Was it?
I think so.
There was also letters.
What? Yeah. It has some sort of. It was the something ice bucket challenge.
Anyway,
it's what Lou Gehrig and I think Stephen Hawking's had too, right?
Then maybe it was that. Well, anyway,
doesn't matter.
So they developed this vaccine.
It's a terrible disease. You all should donate once you find out what it's called.
Yeah, don't do the bucket. Just give money.
Yeah,
I think that helps.
Yeah,
more than the bucket.
You're wasting water, so you're killing the environment. But just donate
use
money.
That shit in California,
no one needs to know that you donate money. You just do it. It's be a good person. That's what being a good person's about. You just do good things, and people don't have to find out about it. You sing Imagine.
Well, Cody, how are people supposed to know I'm a good person?
They don't have to know.
No, I agree with you, but it's...
They don't. You just be a good person. A good person is a good person.
I feel like Instagram models are gonna hop on that shit.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm not an influencer.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh God. Here, we'll take a live call. This is fun.
Are you gonna put it on speaker?
Yeah. What up, Anthony? You're live on Nerds with Friends. What's going on?
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
You're talking to the internet right now.
You're talking to the...
Nerds with Friends?
Yeah.
Friendses?
Yeah, what's going on? Did you get your PS5? Because I'm having a hell of a time.
Really? I'm about to try. Is it going to be the worst thing or what?
Yeah, if you're in for like a dose of soul-crushing defeat, it's a good time.
Oh, God. What happened?
Well, we were setting up for the podcast, and... once we finally got everything set up, I pulled up my phone for a fun minute and to get the camera going for all of our YouTube fans. And then I saw that I had gotten an email at 5:27 telling me that Best Buy was pre-ordering, and now I'm on there, and it's in my cart, but I can't check out.
Hey, guess what? As our first-time caller, if Cody actually manages to get one, it's yours now.
Nope, that's not true.
That's we just said that, so now it is.
He's half of Nerds with Friends. That's binding.
That's God damn it, Christian.
That's a thank you to people who call in while we record.
That's what happens when you call in Nerds with Friends. We just give you stuff now.
Give you $500 worth of shit.
Well, I gotta call in more often. This is great.
Yeah, that's what we do for our listeners. But I mean, you're definitely welcome to try. We've tried Best Buy.
I'm trying right now, yeah, and it's not doing anything.
Best Buy, GameStop, and Target. Target just says they're sold out.
What? Really? Is this? I just got back from McDonald's. I went away for like a half an hour. Is this the worst thing now?
Yeah, we basically set up for the podcast.
It's 2020, bro. That's what happens now. You go out for McDonald's, you fucking lose a PS5.
Oh my god.
Hey,
this is the worst year.
Did you try the spicy McNuggets at McDonald's though? Those are new and fun.
No, I haven't. I didn't see those over there.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty. I had some
I'm gonna
today.
try those next time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna try some more and look at other websites, but it sounds like I'm shit out of luck.
I think the world is
Yeah,
2020.
sounds like we're all kind of out of luck. But yeah, if you find one, definitely buy me one too, and I will pay you back instantly.
If you manage to get 3, I'll Venmo you.
Yeah, if you buy 3, Christian will pay you $600 for one. So he's good for it.
That's half of Nerds with Friends, so that's binding now.
Yeah, it's binding. So we set it on record, so it is binding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
Well, good luck, man, and I'll call you afterwards. Okay?
Thanks for calling into the show.
See you guys later.
Thanks for calling in. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun.
That actually was kind of...
Though I forgot that we have Bluetooth on this thing. I probably could have gotten a little bit better audio quality, but that it's spur of the moment.
First time.
It's spur of the moment. What are we gonna do? That was not planned or scripted. That's live, baby.
Do it live.
We'll do it live.
So anyway,
biohackers.
So there's this company that made medicine for this disease that we fucking, because we're ignorant as fuck, don't know what it's called, and it's $750,000 the first year.
ALS. Boom. Nailed it. That's
go.
what it's called.
So $750,000 the first year.
Okay.
The year after that, because you need to continue it to continuously get better, it's $350,000 every year after that.
So it's a cool $1 million in your first 2 years.
Easy.
Fuck.
And like
is there a point when you're just better, that you just don't have it anymore?
I'm probably when you're broke. I think it's like
you just die of no money.
Then you're fine apparently after it. No, so and that's fucked up. Like there was this parents with this child who's like, he's in his 20s now and like he's slowly deteriorated. And like what these companies say is like, oh, well, what would you pay to have your kid be able to be better? It's like, dude, what a fucked up kind of thing to say to a fucking parent. It's like, obviously I'll pay anything. Well, there you go. Then the $750,000 should be fucking.
Yeah, the
worth
answer
it.
is all of my money, which is what you're asking.
And so like it's fucking terrible. And then like that's what these biohackers are trying to do. Like they're saying is like, well, this technology is going to continue to grow. It's only going to be for the wealthy. People who can't afford this medicine aren't allowed to get better. It's like, so we have to basically try to figure it out on ourselves. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting point. It's like, but why not maybe just fucking get these medicine companies to sell shit at a fair fucking price, man? And like their bullshit is they're saying like, oh, well, we need to show profit in order to make more money so we can do research and development. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure like you'll make enough money. Maybe you don't have to fucking sell shit at $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these big pharma companies have gotten into trouble for selling things like insulin and, like antibiotics at obscene obscene markups.
Funny that you bring that up.
Yep.
The guy who invented insulin and the guys who invented the cure for polio made $0 They didn't patent that shit. They were like,
Jonas Salk, he did the polio vaccine.
Yeah.
I remember that from my U.S. history classes.
yeah, they were like, the world deserves this. People should get better, and we don't want to see children die. What happened to these people? Where are those fucking scientists? Like, where do they go? Or they just want to make the world a better place?
Yeah, well, they were like, hey, Jonas Salk, thanks again for inventing that that polio vaccine. I think the world really appreciates it. But did you know, like, man, how many doses of that polio vaccine have we given out? Like 40 million doses of it. Yeah, I don't know, something crazy like that.
Yeah, all these kids are walking now. Like, they don't fucking, their legs work. It's beautiful.
How much did you charge for that polio vaccine?
A fair price.
A fair price?
A fair price.
If you just charged an extra $20 for every one of those doses.
Yeah, that would make me a piece of shit.
Yeah, but you'd be a rich piece of shit.
I would be a rich piece of shit, but I wouldn't be able to fucking sleep at night.
And then there's some guy hiding around the corner, and he's like, well, I'm just going to make the generic version and make a bunch of money.
Honestly, I'm sure they were pissed, and they were like, can't you just make it where, like, they are fine, but they're not cured, and we need to give them, like, a subscription base of, like, they have to continuously buy it monthly?
The Netflix model?
Yeah.
Like, look, we can cure all of your polio right now, or for an affordable subscription of $2.99 a month, you can be polio free for as long as you're a subscriber.
Yeah. I bet you there was some asshole.
Dude, if they could figure out how to do that, they would do that.
Of course. When they get close to being able to cure AIDS, I'm sure it's going to be, we'll just subscribe to the pill. And then
they're getting pretty close, man. I mean, you can live pretty symptom free, which is amazing that more people don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean, Magic Johnson knows. He's been trucking for forever.
Well, yeah, like South Park said, the cure is money.
Just injects money into his veins.
He's got to be rich, and he's been rich.
Yeah, so it's a good show, though. Interesting show.
It is. It's frustrating in the sense, like, you see what's going on. It's like, and it makes, like, dude, what the fuck? What can I do to try to, like, make this, like, have not this big pharma companies not charge so much?
You can solve diseases yourself, I guess.
I'm not fucking
you could just
one guy, like the main guy, Josiah, he did manage to like show that he doubled the muscle mass of a frog. And
it's a fucking ripped ass frog.
Yeah.
He was like, rip it.
He said he cured himself. He had irritable bowel syndrome, and he's cured himself through gene editing.
He just stopped eating Taco Bell. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, yeah, man, I injected myself with this solution, and I started eating smoothies and stuff instead of eating at Taco Bell every single day, and I stopped shitting my pants.
You know what's crazy in the conspiracy theorist mind of mine? There was another guy who's trying to start a similar company. His name is Aaron Trawick, and he was trying to work on curing a certain type of HIV and AIDS, because I guess the virus mutates and there's new ones. He was working with an HIV patient, and the patient was like injecting himself, but like they would give him the gene editing stuff, and he'd like what they figured would be the cure, and they'd be like, oh, well, you're doing this on your own, we're just giving it to you, we're not selling it to you. Something happens, that's obviously on you.
Oh wow, to get around like FDA approval or something.
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave the cure to AIDS here on the table. What you do with it is up to you.
What may or may not be a cure. Or
what may or may not be.
He's dead. Not the patient.
Oh.
The guy, the CEO of the company, Aaron Trawick.
Wow.
They found him dead in an isolation chamber. He apparently had taken it wasn't opioids. He'd taken a drug, and he was in there, and he died. And I'm like, or the government, Big Pharma did it, because maybe he was getting close. And they were like, no, we're not about to lose that money like we lost on polio. We're going to fucking keep this AIDS thing going and keep making the subscription fucking pills to make a shit ton of money.
God damn. I really wouldn't put it past like the government to do something like that.
Oh.
I hope it's not true, obviously, but god damn.
Because we don't want to be next just because I've exposed the truth.
Just because I'm about to solve cancer. Very cool. What was it called again? It was called
Unnatural Selection.
Unnatural Selection. Yeah, I have to check that out. I like a good doc every once in a while. Did you see that Bad Blood one? I think it was called on HBO.
I have not.
It's about the chick who she wanted to be Steve Jobs. Like there's a whole part where she only dresses. She has 6 black turtlenecks.
She only ate apples.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that extreme, but she wanted to invent a machine that out of a single little pinprick of blood could screen you for all these cancers, diseases.
So 23andMe.
23andMe tells you where you're from.
No, it also they had to stop. So
They can tell if you're predisposed to
Yes.
get certain things. This one's supposed to tell you if you've actually got it, or if you have any of these conditions already in your body, not if you're genetically predisposed for them.
Okay.
Because genetically predisposed means like
There's a chance
that you might develop it, right? Based off of your DNA and history. But this one's straight up you have it. You have cancer, you don't know about it, but this drop of blood told you. And she was making these machines that were supposed to do all this, and they just they couldn't get it to work. And she was basically but she kept going. She rolled it out to a bunch of Walgreens and stuff, and they were having to do it, but people would they couldn't get it to work from a pinprick, and then the inside of the machine would just have all this freaking blood and
Did she have a medical background?
No, she was an inventor or something. Yeah, she had
an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
which to me is such a vague fucking word. It means I know. I'm not even
any one of us who dealt a little weed in high school is an entrepreneur. But yeah, she couldn't get it to work, but she kept rolling it out and saying yeah, everything's fine. And stock was oh, everyone's investing in it and everything. And eventually it got to the point where they rolled it out to Walgreens, and they would have people in Walgreens taking blood, phlebotomists actually taking blood.
You always said Walgreens is Walgreens?
Walgreens?
No, now you said Walgreens.
What did I say before?
Walgreens?
Walgreens?
Yeah, see? That's how you fucking said it earlier.
Well, yeah, it's Walgreens.
No, Walgreens, isn't it?
I think it's Walgreens.
I feel like I've never heard anyone say it. It was so alien in my ears when you said it.
Doesn't matter. It's besides the point, Christian.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get past that.
Walgreens? I think I call it Walgreens. It doesn't matter. It's
guys correct us.
It's someone's name, so it's made up, so it's up to interpretation. Anyway, so they had these people taking blood and through a regular needle tapping your vein, which is already
was it cleaning it, or was it the same needle?
No, the machine didn't work. So the machine was, you're supposed to be you punch your hand in there, it takes a little dab of blood and does it all automated. They couldn't get that to work, so they're oh, well, sometimes we'll have to have an actual professional take blood from you and put it into the machine, but then the machine will still do all the tests. Mm-hmm. But what they were doing is they would just send the blood out to a real lab who would do the tests and then send it back. And they're wow, look at this crazy machine. It did all this stuff.
It only took
by itself.
7 to 10 business days to
calculate. I forget I think it's called Blood Money or something like that. If it's on HBO, everyone should watch it because it's crazy. But I like those documentaries that really expose someone just being
insane that she can say oh, this is what it does. Oh, can you show us proof?
Yeah,
let me show you.
They would have people come into the labs and they're yeah, you can't look into it. It's proprietary information. We don't want it getting out and people stealing our ideas. But it's just
fucking insane.
And then these poor lab technicians who are trying to make the automated machine work, they reach into these boxes and there's broken glass and blood and all over these guys. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That is so fucking gross.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You should watch a movie. Yeah, it's a docu-series. There's 6 episodes or something on HBO. Anyway, my nerdy confession kind of ties into what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Speaking of the PlayStation 5, I'm actually fairly interested in getting an Xbox Series X.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason why is I think that everyone knows that the PlayStation 4 beat the Xbox One, right? That it's pretty much accepted. I think the Xbox One is the lowest selling of those systems, including the Switch, right? I'm pretty sure. Don't look up those numbers.
I
but
feel
I'm
like that's a
pretty
given.
sure that's correct. But it's pretty much understood, right? But they're doing something interesting this year where actually on paper, the Xbox One X, which is the most Series X, I should say, I think it's the most powerful of the next gen systems, more so than the PS5.
I thought they were pretty much like graphics cards or about
They're
the same.
pretty close, but the processor, I think, actually Anthony, the guy, my buddy who called in, he was telling me, I think that the Xbox One S processor is like a 0.2 gigahertz faster.
So to a computer, I'm sure that's a big deal to us.
It
It's
is.
like, meh.
It is kind of. I mean, graphically, it is, or from a procedural point of view, it is a big deal. Not crazy. I mean, it's not going to be a night and day difference, but you should be able to see a slight difference in rendering and things like that, load times, etc. So, but that's kind of besides the point. I don't really care which one's better necessarily. I want something that's good. But the main reason that I'm thinking about maybe getting the Xbox is that they're offering a plan where you can actually pay $35 a month. And for that $35 a month, you get the Xbox Series X system. And after 2 years, 24 months, you own it. So you're paying it off gradually, which is whatever. I mean, legitimately, I could buy it, no problem. I mean, not saying I'm like rich, but I've budgeted my money to have a new system that's about $500.
Yeah, but if you don't want to drop a fatty amount,
Right.
that's pretty nice.
But not only that, you're not only getting the system, you're getting the Xbox Live Gold membership for 2 years, which is what you need to play online with your buddies, which everyone's going to do. You also get the Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate, which gives you access for free. Well, not for free, it's part of the plan, right? But it gives you access to all these Xbox games, past and present, like brand new day one titles. Like Anthony was saying that he got Gears of War 5 right the day it came out, just part of this plan. And so you get all of this combined for $35 a month. And I actually figured it out. I did the math because I think normally for a combined Xbox Live and Game Pass Ultimate, it's $15 a month for 24 months. And then, which I think was like $350 if I'm not mistaken. And then the console is $500 normally. So if you add the two of them together, you actually get the console for $20 cheaper by doing this plan.
That sounds great, and I think that's a great plan for people who can't shell out a large amount.
Yeah.
My only thing is titles, and I feel like Sony has better titles. Like I outside of Gears of War, because I don't really care about Halo too much anymore, but outside of Gears of War, I can't think of another title where I'm like, I would consider getting an Xbox for.
Yeah, and 100%. I really agree with you there, which is why I'm still going to get a PS5. But I was thinking for an extra $35 a month, like just to be able to play Halo, Gears of War. I heard a new Fable's coming out, and that was always one of my favorite Xbox games. It seems like it might be, worth it, especially if I have friends who end up getting it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of wait and see, but I mean, that's a cool concept for things, especially like obviously the reason why they release these things November 12th, which is when PS5 is coming out, is because they want to get the Christmas business, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants a new game system for the Christmas, but it's like, think about the financial strain that puts on parents and, even kids who want to get it for themselves.
Outside of that, like with COVID, people not fucking working as much, it kind of
100%.
It's a good idea. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's a good move. It's just I can't get over the titles part. That's
Yeah. Well, I think a big part of it comes from that the title support isn't there because they did not do well in the last, game console war or whatever. I think if they had been more competitive, because remember back when Xbox 360 was battling the PS3 and it was much more even back then, there were a lot more first party games on the Xbox, but they've lost things over the years. Bungie notoriously left Xbox.
I honestly didn't think they were going to make a new system. I thought they were like, all right, let's focus on something. We tried it. We tried it for a couple years.
And that's another cool thing is that the Xbox Live and the Game Pass works both on your computer, your home PC, and the Xbox.
Okay.
So you can actually, and most of them have crossplay because they all run on Windows. So now you can actually play with your friends who have PCs who maybe you weren't able to play with before.
So maybe they're going to do like DC where like all of a sudden, bam, like now
yeah,
like
they're
DC
like,
moving
they,
forward.
They flipped a switch and they're like, it's time to be cool with an Xbox again. So, I'm interested to see what they do.
I might. I don't know if I'd want to run credit to fucking get the deal.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess they would have to. I think what they would do is you'd have to put a card on file, and I think that
but then I close my card, and then you can't get my money.
Well, I'm sure that there's some way of them, some contract that you sign, but I don't know if it's actually they're going to do like a soft credit check on you.
I feel like they have to.
I don't think they'd have to. But who knows?
Fucking cell phone contracts that make you run credit for.
Yeah, but I mean, most cell phones are expensive compared to the Xbox. Xbox, starts at $400 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious.
It's it's weird. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it still, but for $35 a month, it's hard to say no to that just to try it out. And I mean, that's no sweat off my back, really.
I would probably.
It really depends on if my buddies end up getting it.
If I saw some good titles, I would do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the newest Xbox system, and I didn't really feel a hurt.
Yeah, the only ones I really missed out were Halo, because I do love Halo. And then also Gears of War. Those are like my two main ones, Everything else, I'm kind of whatever about, but those two are great. Also, I do love the Xbox controller. I still think that's
because it's beefier.
It's beefier, but also the triggers feel a lot better, and having the analog stick up slightly, yeah. I don't know, somehow makes my hand more comfortable, Anyway. So obviously a lot of talk about the PlayStation. We did have the new showcase today. Anything that particularly stuck out that you wanted to talk about?
I'm going to be real honest. I didn't watch it. So
yeah.
I didn't watch the show. I was busy at work.
They did show off more of Resident Evil 8 Village.
More more werewolves.
Werewolves and witches and shit like that. I don't know, man. It does not look good.
You know what we've done for all these other titles? Zombies? Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're not going to show in the trailer why we're not doing that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm going to still fucking buy it. I'm not going to be...
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, but...
I'll probably still play it. They did show Final Fantasy 16?
Okay.
16's the newest one, I think.
I'm just looking for more 7.
It looks pretty cool, and it's a PlayStation exclusive, which is kind of crazy.
Is that the online ones?
No, it looks like it's got single player.
Okay.
It might have some online play too, but it is back in medieval fantasy land.
Nice.
It's not, you're not driving around in a Cadillac like you were in the last one.
So back to chocobos.
Yep, they showed a bunch of chocobos, people riding on them, so kind of interesting. I'm down to play that one a little bit. Those games always look amazing. They did show they showed a little bit of Demon Souls, which looks cool, but those games are always too hard.
Like those games, that game that's impossible to beat, or
Dark Souls.
Oh,
it's like a prequel to Dark Souls.
Okay.
Well, it's not a prequel necessarily. It came out first. Dark Souls is a sequel to it.
I bought it once, and it was like a used copy, and like first 10 minutes I was like, yeah, nope, and just returned it and like got something else.
Yeah, I got a game very similar. I think it might be the same studio. It's called Nioh, Nioh, and it's like the same thing but a samurai game, and I was just like, dude, I can't even get past the first like introductory level. So no thanks, but a lot of people are excited about it, so good for you, I guess. Alrighty. What else should we talk about? I wanted to talk about a little bit. I am thinking about starting a new game to play. I think I'm finally going to take the dive and start playing Warhammer.
You're going to do it?
I think so. I got a buddy of mine who just painted up a new army or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I just got done with this army. I think I'm going to call it done. I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to play so bad. He's like, I'll teach you.
I honestly don't know anything about the game mechanics to even like guess what it's like, but you have to have the miniatures, right? Like you can't play without the miniatures.
Well, I mean, you definitely do. You're encouraged to have the miniatures, but realistically, you know, if you say had some little like tokens or something that stood in for them, and it was understood that these tokens equaled this figure.
So it's like
with these weapons,
like when you lose a chess piece and you're like, all right, this penny is now a bishop. Like
100%. Yeah. So if you were to do that, I don't see why you couldn't do it. You would still have to have the book or codex, as they're known in Warhammer, with all the stats and perks and stuff of each weapon that you were using. But you could, in theory, do it. But I think part of the fun of Warhammer is the miniatures. Obviously.
So he had sent me some videos on YouTube that were great.
A Star Tease?
Yeah, and I was I was slightly distracted. I think I was playing League of Legends while I was trying to watch it. And they're pretty gruesome, and I don't know who the good guys are, who the villains are. Like you couldn't really tell.
So the interesting thing about Warhammer is that there's not really any good guys. There's the Imperium of Man, which is essentially us. And
GameStop might be able to.
GameStop. Well, you go ahead and try it while I tell all the viewers about Imperium of Man. So basically, they're human beings, which is us, right? And it's set in the year 40,000, which is far, far in the future, where basically all of the galaxy is at a constant war. And there's the Emperor of Humankind, who basically is a super cool warrior guy who basically pushed back the forces of evil and stuff, like the orcs and the zombie type people or whatever. But he gets locked into a psychic battle with these intraplanar beings like demons and stuff. And so he's sitting in his throne, just psychicking the whole time. And his body basically kind of decays and dies around him because he's been locked in battle for, I don't know, thousands of years or something. And to keep him alive and keep his psionic forces going, they his servants and stuff feed 1,000 souls into the throne every day or something crazy like
every day?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
These are the non-marine guys.
Well, he's the leader of all of humankind.
So he's you're talking about the guys with the guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Space Marines.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they just take regular humans.
Yeah, and just dump them into a blender or something, and just psychic power or whatever. I don't know how they do it. I didn't get that into the lore.
Holy shit! Okay.
But anyway, and then there's all these different factions. So the blue guys are the Ultramarines, which those are the main symbol of Warhammer. But there's different factions. There's the Blood Angels. There's the Iron Fists. There's the or Iron Fists.
Do they know Kung Fu?
Steel Fists, something like that. Something like that. There's the Grey Knights, which are the ultra elite guardians of the Emperor kind of thing. There's the Sisters of Battle, which I actually just painted a miniature of one of the Sisters of Battle, which is awesome. I'll put a picture up. But yeah, so there's not really good guys. Even the quote unquote good guys, are these constant murderer type dudes who just they go around stomping out people who speak out against the Emperor and just murdering heretics.
So the psychic beings, they are not good as well.
They are not good as well. They want to take over the whole galaxy. And just cause mass death and pain and destruction.
And where do the orcs fall in?
Here's a fun thing about the orcs is they actually are so psychically powerful that if enough of them in a group believe something, they will it into existence, kind of thing.
What?
Yeah. So it's they can if they all believe that they are bulletproof hard enough, then they'll be bulletproof.
So if they believe there's a spaghetti monster deity,
yeah,
it will come to.
Yeah, it's kind of if in Dungeons and Dragons, the Cruatoa. The Cruatoa can do that too.
Okay,
fish people.
They're the ones with the slot. They
look like fish. Their whole head is a fish.
Oh, okay.
And then they have little arms and legs like a human.
I don't think I've run into them. Okay.
They're not one of the core races. I think they're in Xanathars or something like that. But they can basically believe deities into existence.
Well, why don't they do that? Well, like all of my people are bulletproof, and then they believe it.
Well, they have to believe it really hard, but when you're out there constantly getting murdered by Space Marine bullets, it's probably hard to believe that. You know what I'm saying?
So if they all believe that they have 12-inch penises, that shit will happen.
That's one thing they all do believe. But yeah, so there's some really interesting lore in there, but it is a very like grim, dark kind of like world that they've created. So
and they're also bad, I'm guessing.
Yeah, totally. They're just all constantly at war with each other. There's no people who are like for sure 100% good guys. Like the Grey Knights are these are the protectors of the emperors, and they're like the super holy guys who cannot be corrupted by chaos, which is like the force of like corruption and evil coming out of the I think, what do they call it? They call it like the drift or the warp or whatever, which is like the space that you go through to get through hyperspace kind of thing.
Like a wormhole?
Well, it's like warp space, you know.
Okay. I don't know enough space. But
well, it's not real. It's from fantasy, but it's like basically, yeah, like traveling through a wormhole. But when you're traveling through the wormhole, you're in this other area, which is called, I think, the drift, maybe. But it's like basically an area full of chaos and like these demons and stuff like that. It's a different dimension essentially.
So
you're traveling through that to get from point A to point B.
Sound like to me, if I was thinking Stephen King universe, it would be the Toadash. It would be like that.
Yes, it would be very much like the Toadash area kind of thing. So anyway, like, but people who go too long in there get corrupted, and so the Grey Knights are uncorruptible because they're like super like vigilant and holy, but they'll also like murder people who you know had even come in contact with other chaos Marines and things like that.
I have a feeling they probably wouldn't have a problem just taking a kid and throwing him in that blender for the Emperor.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking sniffing out heresy. According to this, you're a heretic. And he just. Poof. But anyway, so I think all the lore is pretty interesting. There's like a shit ton of books about Warhammer. But I'm interested in obviously painting the minis because I've been painting a bunch of them already. And then also getting into actually playing the game and experiencing it. There's also Age of Sigmar, which is a different version of the game. It's more fantasy based. So I've been thinking about trying that out too. I'm not sure 100% on the differences as far as gameplay goes, but there are some really cool models that they have in Age of Sigmar. You know, it's demons and dwarves and elves and shit like that. I feel like
every time I've seen like the minis set up in like a terrain at a game store, I feel like you can only play the game like listening to some kind of death metal.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you're not playing no Fleetwood Mac when you're playing that shit. It's like
yeah, like that's it, like
murder.
And everyone's just like when they sing, they just make weird.
Yeah, totally. I think that. So one of the kind of the interesting things, you know, like you played enough D&D and Pathfinder and whatnot to know how that goes, where you create a character and you have like a backstory and things like that. This is not like that.
You're just a fucking number.
You are meat for the grinder. You are, you know.
You are a barcode. Get out there.
Yeah, exactly. Go get them. Bullet shield. But you basically create like squads or units of models, and they act as one essentially. So if you have a unit of 10 Ultramarines, which are your main, the blue guys, they don't each have a different initiative. They go in order. They're like all 10 of these guys. They're going to do their shooting phase, their charge phase, their fight phase, psychic phase. So it
sounds to me like these guys go down pretty well. I would maybe not go down pretty easy, but like they die, so it makes kind of sense. You don't want to write a backstory, a name, a history for the character that's going to.
He was 2 days away from retirement.
Yeah,
the poor Jim, they got him. Jesus Christ, there's blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, this group's dead, cool. But like versus D&D, you're like, no, my fucking character, I put so much time and energy. This fucking backstory, like,
yeah, exactly.
Not gonna complete his goals.
Yeah, you don't want to do backstories on Ultramarines. But I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into painting them, though technically you don't really have to paint them if you.
You know,
want to
maybe it would be better if you did give them backstories. It's like, this one had,
He had 3 kids.
he had a pet dog he had a space dog, and now the space dog's not going to get fed.
Yeah.
And that way maybe you'll be a little bit more not so ruthless and send them out into reckless situations.
That's true. Maybe that's a good point. Good strategy. And one thing that's kind of cool about Warhammer is all D6s.
Okay.
So there's no D20 or anything like that. So 6-sided die. So what's cool is like, say you have like, I don't know, I don't know enough about it to know all the particulars, but if you have those 10 Space Marines and they have like an assault rifle that has the rapid fire trait, means that each one of those guns fires twice. So you would take a handful of 20 die and roll them all at once, and like anything over a 3 is a hit, and anything under a 3 is like not hit.
Okay.
And then you roll for wounds after that to see how if those shots that hit your targets penetrated enough to wound the other character. And then each little figure has a wound value, like how many HP, and most of the time it's 1 or 2 or 3. So it's not like you have a big old tank guy who can sit there and takes 56 damage.
See, my mind went straight to, what if I just have 1d6? Now I got to roll that shit 10 fucking times.
Yeah, well,
and add that shit up.
Well, definitely, in the Warhammer community, people just have bags of them. So
sounds like you have to.
Chuck them. Plus, I'm sure when you're setting up your unit for a particular game, you're probably like, okay, I have these units who have rapid fire, so I'm going to need at least 20. And then you count them out ahead of time.
I just imagine like having
chuck them and
like a handful of dice and just shaking and throwing, and how satisfying it would see.
100%.
Just to see how these dice go.
I think that's why they do that, is because how satisfying is it going to be to run, drop 12 D6s or 20 D6s.
And you need a tray for that. You can't just do that on a fucking
exactly.
Like just run off the table.
Another thing that's kind of interesting, like on D&D we use a lot of the like the 1-inch square grids to kind of show how far each character is going. In Warhammer, you just use a tape measure. So you see these guys who have fucking tape measures, like, oh, you can go 6 inches. You can go anywhere. You just point it whichever way you want, and they just move in six inches at a time. So
how big is an iPhone? Is it 6 inches? I would just use that.
I'll use it. I'll just put it up against my dick.
Just show it on the camera.
Yeah, about 2 of my dick. So just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. No, but so you see a lot of guys will have these tape measures that they'll, whip out and just boom, boom, boom. You can measure real quick. Oh, they can go up this far if they have jetpacks or whatever. So I'm excited to learn how to play. I don't know which one I'll play first, Age of Sigmar or 40k. I really want to play 40k because that's the main one. And I love painting those little Space Marines. Like,
can you imagine if your dick was 6 inches and then you're like, I don't need a tape measure, just use my
dick. I can imagine that.
It's just like, just use my dick. How many dicks is that?
Give me 3 seconds to get it hard and ready to measure.
It's like how far? That's about 3 dicks to the left. All right, cool.
3 dicks to the left. Like, Jesus Christ, he does this every time.
He's just showing off because there's new people here.
Yeah, exactly. There are children here. Jesus Christ, put it away. I have to measure.
I didn't bring my measuring tape.
It's the only unit of measure I know. I don't believe in the metric system.
You think when they were measuring, like when they did the foot, they were like, well, you think there were other people like suggesting like, maybe
make it divisible by 10, you dummy.
Yeah.
Like that?
Maybe, or they were just like, I bet you there was a bunch of like,
why don't we use a cock instead?
Yeah, why don't we use sticks? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You lay down. What are you gonna do? Sideways. Foot makes more sense. You just put one in the
other.
Yeah.
Plus you got a leg attached to it, so you can kind of put it wherever you want.
Yeah.
Like even if you got a 10-inch dick, it's like you can't, like putting it in the middle of a table. How are you supposed to do that?
And didn't
lay flat on your belly?
I feel like I remember at least in history class learning that they measured by fingers, and I forgot what it was.
That's when you're drinking whiskey.
Is that?
I want 2 fingers of Glenlivet, please.
That's true. Yeah. Then the Bible was the cubit is like elbow to your fist.
There's hands. You measure horses in hands.
Yeah.
There's horses.
Someone threw out the dick idea for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, of course they did. They had to. But yeah, so I am interested in trying some Warhammer out. if you guys have any suggestions on particular factions to get started or certain armies that I should try.
Or what to use to measure the 6 inches.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I told you, I'm going to use my dick. Yeah, if you guys have suggestions on which armies to get, how to play, or the best way to learn, let me know, because I'm 100% interested in learning how to play. And shout out to my friend Michael Gibson, who's going to teach me how to play. He didn't really volunteer to teach me, but I'm like, hey, I'm going to get an army and you teach me. He's like,
so you just volunteered.
He's like, all right. But he did just finish a really cool army of flesh eaters, which is from Age of Sigmar. I'll put pictures up so you guys can see. But yeah, he did this cool purple ass dragon. It's like a skeleton dragon. And then these like zombie guys who are like, they're like skeletons and muscles and stuff. And he did them all in a purple scheme.
So a
really
skinless human.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because they ate the flesh because they're flesh eaters.
Okay. Makes sense.
Makes sense. Can't argue with that. But yeah, I'm really excited to, it's one of those games where it's like that's a game you see a lot of people playing at like game stores like Game Castle or.
I will admit that it looks fucking cool. The minis look amazing. I don't know. When it comes to like tabletop game, I feel I need a good side and I need a bad side.
You need to.
And that's just a personal preference.
That's from a guy who plays a rogue.
Yeah. Hey, I do silly shit, but I'm chaotic evil. Chaotic good.
See, there it is. Slipped
You
out.
fucked me up.
Slipped out. Everyone's evil, Christian. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can kind of make up whatever story you want. Realistically, you're out there. In their eyes, the Ultramarines are good guys.
No,
they're out there stomping out the heretics.
I appreciate all of the story.
Yeah.
From what you've told me and the videos you send me, it looks interesting as hell. Like,
yeah.
No, the game looks great, and I love the minis.
Ooh, new Warhammer game coming out on Xbox Series X.
Is it?
Yep.
Nice.
It might come out on other systems too. I don't know, but I saw it. It was definitely listed on.
I remember seeing the Warhammer games, and the covers always look cool, but I've never got myself to buy one.
I remember walking by Games Workshop stores in the mall and stuff and seeing all the models painted. I'm like, this fucking looks cool.
The Metreon had a cool setup for them. Where it was like on the site. This is for Bay Area people when the Metreon was fucking cool, and they had a store on the second floor that sold tabletop gamings and comics, and they had on the outside a huge covered in glass. Obviously, they don't want people touching this shit. Like an amazing Warhammer scene that was. Man, I want to say maybe like a table that was like 10 feet long by like maybe like 4 feet wide. And the whole thing was covered in terrain. And I was like, damn, that looks interesting. And all these minis were painted.
Yeah. They have all the mechs and ships and stuff like that.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's cool sounding stuff, which is why I'm down to try it out. I will update you guys on that soon. I'm also thinking about doing little small chunk videos like 10 to 15 minutes long, where we kind of talk a little bit more in depth about certain things we like painting minis and stuff. So if you guys want to see that, let us know down in the comments, shoot us a tweet or an Instagram message. Let us know if that's something you're interested in. Because I think it would be fun to show off like, what tools you need to get started to paint in minis, or
once I get nicely set up for dice, I'm working on it. Maybe I'll do
how to make dice out of resin, all that kind of stuff. The parts of a 3D printer, little fun nerdy facts that would be easily digestible in small little chunks. I think that would be a fun project to do. Anyway, well, that just about does it. It's hard to tell with all of our. We stopped the show a couple times to try to buy PlayStation 5s.
We thought we almost fucking had one.
We thought we almost had one. So again, open offer. We'll pay for the PS5.
Oh, yeah.
If you just let us have your pre-order, we'll let you come on the show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you could run the show.
As long as you're local.
We'll let you host the show.
As long as you're local or willing to pay your own airfare. No, don't get on the plane. You probably drive yourself.
Stay
over
safe.
here.
But if you live in Bay Area. And you want to give us a pre-order for PlayStation 5, you can come on and host a show, interview us.
Yeah, Cody will show you his tool.
I'll whip out my dick and let you see it if you want.
Consent, always.
Yeah, consent. Consent's important. Yeah, if you don't want it, then I'll keep it in my pants.
Yeah.
But if you do want it, it's all yours.
Offer's there.
The offer's there. I want the PS5 so bad. But thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, clicking that bell.
If we look familiar, tell us.
If you look familiar, tell us. And check out nerdswithfriendspodcast.com for more info on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Christian, thank you as always for
fun adventure of almost getting a PS5.
Yep. Hopefully there's PS5s in both of our futures, but we'll see how that goes. To all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you, and good night.